cutting my hair for the Wilford Beauty Academy, man. The benefit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our acoustic January. I had to burn off all kinds of guitars I had around the shop. So, if you didn't enjoy it, you can't please everybody. You know what I mean? Hope it floated somebody's boat. Anyhow, this is our return to electric instruments. Now, we left off last year, month with a Danelectro made choral bass head. So, what better thing to return to electric guitars with another Danelectro, right? How about a special Danelectro? Now, February, this marks the year anniversary of our great friend John Boy passing away, man. Isn't a day go by that I don't really think about John Boy. Something crazy you say, hey, Bobby, you know what I mean? A Bruce Springsteen song comes on the radio, man. You know what I'm saying? Think about John Boy often. This guitar right here, one of his prized possessions, man. And I'll tell you how he came into ownership of this guitar. You know why it was his prized possession. Now, John Boy grew up around the corner from me on Bennett Avenue, Neptune City, man. And one of his cohorts, one of his best friends was Charlie Tallent, man. And Charlie Tallent was a younger brother, Garry Tallent. Garry Tallent was a bass player at E Street Band. Everybody living in this area has like a 6 degrees of Bruce Springsteen kind of thing going on. I know his hairdresser, but this is a true life story about John. We actually became friends with Bruce, but that's another story for another day, man. We can't go into that today, man, because I hope, we keep things on a positive note. Anyway, so I think he became really close with Charlie Tallent when they went to the Wilford Beauty Academy together in the 70s sometime. They wanted to become a hairstylist or something like that. I don't know, they started jamming out, becoming friends or whatever. And Charlie Tallent bequeathed in some form, shape, or method otherwise, this Danelectro guitar to my man John Boy. And the thing is his brother Garry used to own this guitar and supposedly built it himself at the Danelectro factory. And there was some bone of contention between Charlie Tallent, Garry Tallent, and John Boy about the passing of ownership of this beautiful guitar. But, you know what I'm saying? You snooze, you lose, man. John Boy ended up with it when he passed away. It was inherited by Roy Doing Studios, my dear friend MC. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad that it's remained in the Derelict family because it's a great instrument. It's been played on many Derelict tracks. You know what I mean? John Boy would all busted out the end of the night like, let's play the Danelectro. You know what I mean? There's one of his only prized possessions left on this planet, man. Here it is. But unfortunately, doing a little bit of recording lately, you know what I mean, with the Derelicts, when we plugged in the amplifier, and shit didn't work, man. It didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So something's got to be done. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to mess with it too much because who knows what's original from Garry Tallent and what John Boy added to it. We have no idea, man. We have no idea, man. So I'm going to flip you around. I'll show you the case. We'll try to diagnose what's wrong with it. And maybe we won't play a little bit on it, man. Maybe we won't. You know what I mean? We'll see together. And that's the important part about being together. We'll take a look together. So it is, man. Our dearly departed John Boy's most valuable earthly possession that exists. That we know where it is. That's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So he had Mad Dog Lopez, who actually played drums with the Derelicts, sign it in 2014. Has an 80s Ibanez case. I'm suspecting that possibly this case John Boy acquired to protect his most valuable possession. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There it is, man. Let's get it out of the case and talk a little bit more about it, man, before we plug it in and see exactly what's wrong with it. So here it is, man. Out of the case. Beautiful it is. Now, I was talking about Garry Tallent in the intro and 6 degrees of Bruce Springsteen. Garry Tallent's sister was actually my first babysitter, man. Isn't that crazy? She remained my favorite babysitter till shortly after the birth of my brother, right? And then my brother was born. And the first time he was ever separated from my mother, you know what I mean? My babysitter finally came back. It was like a reunion. I was like, oh, she's back. You know what I'm saying? This is great. For about like 45 minutes, my brother was cool. And then he started crying. And continued to cry for like 13 hours until my mother got back. They went to like a wedding in like New York somewhere, man. That was before cell phones, man. So needless to say, You should never babysit like either of us again. Gary Tallent's mother actually had to come over and, you know what I mean, take care of the situation, put everybody to bed. It was scary. I apologize to the Tallent family for that. You know what I'm saying? Sorry about that. Anyway, I don't know if this, you know what I mean, were, is John Boy's work here. I don't know if that was Gary's work. These are newer tuners. You know what I'm saying? These are not from the late 60s, obviously. Who knows where anything sort of came in. I don't know. That looks like a stereo knob on the front there. But you can tell this is definitely old stock Danelectro neck. And, this looks like a old 60s Fender knob. And this looks like a stereo knob, possibly put on by John Boy. I don't know. I don't know really the pedigree. I just know that John Boy didn't lie about Springsteen related relics, man. So let's see what's wrong with it, man. Let's first let's just bring it over into the lab real quick. You know what I mean? Open up this cavity cover and spray it down with some contact cleaner. Plug in and see if we can get it working. Because I don't want to do too much to it. You know what I'm saying? This is just a special February trip for you all. See you in the laboratory, you old Danelectro Neptune City fans. So we got it cracked open. We solved some riddles too, man. Look at that, man. Those are definitely Danelectro electronics, without a doubt. Originals. Look at that 60s Scotch tape in there. It's got a 69 pot code. So definitely legitimate, man. This is legitimate Danelectro as it comes, man. We also were able to solve the riddle of how John Boy got this guitar, because John Boy left a little note in the cavity in his own handwriting. It says, today's date, December 17th, 2001. Bruce Springsteen's bass player, Garry Tallent. His first guitar. I paid Gary's brother Charlie $40 back in 74, 75, or 76. John Boy, man. This is additional testimony. I don't know what he's writing back here. Age of guitar, 60s. From Bennett Avenue, Neptune City. My street. Gary's street. Gary actually moved there, I think, when he was an early adolescent. He was like 13 or 14. I could see his house right from my window, man. First he lived on one side of the street, and then he moved to the next side of the street, man. Something like that, man. Something like that. So we're going to spray this guy down with some nice pot cleaner, man. Bring it over to the amplifier. See if it works. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if it works. Peace be with you. Guess what, people? Works, man. It works. Little CRC, man. CRC, help us out, man. CRC, let it be. Excellent, man. Excellent. So let's tuck John Boy's little note away. Put the cavity cover back on this girl. And right before our glam shots, take a minute. We'll give you a little tiny slideshow of our man, John Boy, man. John Boy's most valuable possession, man. Peace be with you, John Boy. Rest in peace, my brother. Rest in peace. So here we go, man. A Danelectro guitar built by Garry Tallent. By Neptune City for Neptune City. Working again, man. We're only doing studio archive. It's complete, man. We pretty much looked at it before, but let's just look at it again, man. Let's look at it one more time. See, it's got all the Danelectro bushings except for one. You know what I'm saying? All except for one. Original Danelectro strap buttons on here. You know what I mean? The original lipstick on here. Original bridge. All the original electronics. Strap button on the bottom is original. Tape around the side, still in good condition. You know what I'm saying? Looked like the strap button was here for a little while. Looks like Gary put some other screws in there. I know John Boy didn't do that. You know what I mean? John Boy's not that. He protected it, you know what I mean? He protected this. He's the keeper. Miss you, John Boy. Wherever you are, brother. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for enriching our lives. Let's listen to this thing, man. Let's hear it. You know what I'm saying? Let's hear it, man. It's February, short month. You know what I'm saying? Not short on adventure, man. Peace be with you. Look after yourself. So there we go, man. The late 60s single cutaway Danelectro made in Neptune City. That's an undisputable fact. But it's almost 97.7% certain this is Gary Tallent's favorite Danelectro of the guitar form, man. So Gary, peace be with you, my brother. So I want to tell a little Gary Tallent story, a personal story. We were talking about the 6 degrees of Bruce Springsteen earlier. When I was a kid, about 12 years old, I started getting into like stereo equipment. And my brother and I were walking around. I saw these 2 big black speakers in front of Gary Tallent's mom's house. So by He-Man, these big speakers, you know, back over to my mom's house. Now at the time, we've been disciplined from picking garbage, you know what I'm saying? This was my next door neighbor. Our kids that just moved out of the house or went to college or something, and they threw away all kinds of cool stereo equipment stuff. We were like, oh, you know, and we took it. My mom's like, don't take any more garbage, you know what I mean? You're banned from taking garbage. So, brought them back there. My brother and I brought the old 8-track player out to the garage. We tried plugging them in. We didn't know what we were doing. I was like 12, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, it came out all garbled. So my brother said, we got to get rid of these. Moms will flip out, you know, and I don't want to put it back on the garbage. You know what I mean? To take off somebody's garbage, put somebody else's garbage. My brother and I went through the garage, like, let's hide them, you know what I mean? He's like, no, let's dispose of them. You got these 2 hatchets. I was like, what? It's a great idea. So we cut them up. And there was a big pile of wood in the backyard, and I said, what do we do now? My brother said, let's burn it. And we burned it. And then, like, the only thing that's left is a bunch of, like, charcoal and, like, burnt speaker cones. And then we took them and we took, like, a sledgehammer and crushed them up in little pieces, man. And years later, I was living in Deal. I was in my 20s. My man, MC and bass market. There were 2 bass players, and there was a bass player magazine in the bathroom, and I was reading an interview with Gary Tallent. He's like, what's the best bass speakers you ever played out of? He's like, oh, that's easy. I built these 2 bass speakers when I was a young guy. Used them on all my old albums and all the original tours and stuff. I think they're in my mom's house. They're the best Italian speakers of all time. I wonder what happened to them, Gary. Sorry about that, bro. But peace be with you, man. I wish you luck, man. I help you rebuild them from memory. Sit in the car outside your house, where I can feel the heat coming down. I go to put my arms around you and give me a look like I'm way out of bounds. I'm going down, down, down. I'm going down, 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 down. Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray, South Pacific, Walter Winchell, Joe DiMaggio, Joe McCarthy, Richard Nixon, Stuart Baker, television, North Korea, South Korea, Marilyn Monroe. Peace be with you, Gary Tallent. I only did that because my friend Anthony, one of my roommates in college, he used to work with Gary Tallent's first wife, Cheryl, at the Rum Runner. And he said Gary Tallent hated Billy Joel, forbid her from ever listening to his music. I don't know if that's true either. It's all hearsay, man. Peace be with you. God bless you, Gary Tallent. Wash your hands, brother. All the Tallent family. God bless you, man. Neptune City rules, man. Love you, man. See you next week. If there is a next week, which I doubt.